Alright, here I am again outside making a video about the Nikon Z6. Actually, this time I will talk about the things that I like about this camera. And it's very important to understand that I'm not comparing the camera to other cameras. Some of the points that I will mention might be better on other cameras. This is not the point of this video. This video is just about 5 things that I really like about this camera. And a shout out to a commenter on the second to last Nikon video. She's called Mystic Aperture Videos, I think. She reminded me that this camera actually supports snap bridge usage, so I can now use this. I hope that you can see it, to see how the frame is and if I'm in focus and actually where the focus points are. Thank you very much. At this place, let me apologize for the probably really bad audio quality at the moment. I actually lost the dead cat that I had on my microphone. And it's not a good microphone anyways, so I might have to add a lot of noise reduction when editing this video and it might sound pretty bad. So the first things that I want to mention are the LCD screen and the EVF. The image on the LCD screen is really beautiful, but not only that, it's also fully touch capable. That means that I can adjust all the settings and do everything in the menu just using touch. And that's something that I really missed on other cameras that I used. It's something that makes changing all the settings and setting up the camera the way that I want way easier and faster. And everything that makes the process easier and faster is very welcome, especially when it doesn't have any drawbacks at all. The EVF, well, I never want to go back to the time of optical viewfinders. Electronic viewfinders are so much better, and especially if they are as good as in the Nikon Z6. I don't know how many million dots it has, but it's a beautiful and bright OLED screen that can be used during the day or during the night. I've never had any problems with it. So basically having a great touch-enabled LCD screen and an awesome EVF really helps out the photography and videography process. Another thing that I really like about this camera is that I can save 3 different preset settings, and I can save them separately to videography and photography. So whenever I'm doing videography, I have 3 preset settings that I can switch between. One would be for slow motion, one would be for real-time motion. And as soon as I want to do some photography, I can change to the photography mode and use those settings without changing the settings of the videography mode. There's just a little flaw with it that I would have liked to have implemented differently. The thing is that sometimes I tweak the preset settings a little bit because of different situations, and then I turn off my camera because I want to save battery, and when I turn it back on, the settings are reset to the saved preset settings. It would be cool if the settings only changed when I change mode, but as long as I'm in the same mode and I turn the camera off and on, the settings should stay the same. That would be actually awesome. It would be great if there was like an option in the menu to change that, but that's how it is at the moment. What I also really like about this camera is actually the whole body. Well, it's pretty heavy. That might be a bit annoying when doing vlogs, but for photography or when filming all the stuff, it just really fits very good into the hand. It fills my hand completely, and I can reach the most important buttons for me with just 3 fingers, the thumb, the index finger and the middle finger. And because I've been a Nikon user before, it's also very familiar design. And also the body is very rugged, except for the stupid LCD screen on top that I already managed to crack like 1 month after buying it or something like that. And most importantly, this camera does have IBIS. Just a really great thing that I'm using now and that I'm using whenever I'm hand-holding this camera, whether it's when doing photography or doing videography. Just a really great thing to have. And point number 4, this camera, being a mirrorless camera, has focus points that cover 90% of the frame. That's something that's just really awesome when coming from a DSLR camera. In my previous camera, the D7100, I only had a few focus points in the center of the camera, and whenever I wanted to focus on something that was on the edge of the picture, I had to move the camera so that the subject was in the center, then focus, then reframe and take a picture. Now that's not a problem anymore. It's really great that mirrorless cameras do have this possibility of covering almost the whole frame with focus points. And this factor, combined with the electronic viewfinder, really make mirrorless cameras way better than classic DSLRs. So I don't think that I will ever go back to DSLRs. And last but not least, this camera does 4K 30 FPS without any crop, reading the whole sensor. Sure, most mirrorless cameras do this nowadays, but as I've said, this isn't comparing this camera to other cameras. It's just about what this camera can do and what I really like about it. And also this was Nikon's first attempt at a full-frame mirrorless video camera, and I think they really nailed this part of the camera. Their 4K video is really great. Consider this, recording at 4K 30 FPS and then converting it to a 24 FPS video still allows you to slow down the video by 20%. And not only that, it's actually not that easy to convert the full frame into a full 4K 30 FPS footage. Well, it's not the 30 FPS part that is the problem, but the 4K. It's simple mathematics. This sensor has 24.5 megapixels. That's 6,000 times 4,000 and something pixels that it uses. 4K UHD uses only 8.3 megapixels. So somehow they have to convert the 24 megapixels into only 8.3 megapixels. So they have to convert the sensor image into 4K UHD video in real time. I actually don't even know how this works. Yeah, sure, it's pretty standard at the moment, but they nailed it and I'm really happy about it. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say about the 5 things that I like about the Nikon Z6. Sure, there are many other things that I like about this camera, but I wanted to condense it into 5 points and I wanted to share them with you because in the last 2 videos it might have sounded like I don't really like this camera, but I actually really like it. There are just a few things that I would have liked if they were differently. But I must say, still the thing that I dislike most is the use of XQD cards. Everything else I can handle. Well, I can also handle XQD cards, but I still think that it's way too expensive for not offering anything for this camera. And again, sorry for the audio quality, and I don't know how the brightness of the picture is. I'm trying something different this time, so I'll see it. And thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think about this camera, about the points that I make, and see you next time. Bye bye.